ladies and gentlemen, to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel here on YouTube with me, your host, Dirty Pat Walsh, back in the studio of Sound Kitchen Studios. Sometimes we're in the kitchen, sometimes we're in the studio. But I'm charging my phone as I'm doing this, so got to do it in the studio. I've become more into hanging out in the kitchen lately, but yeah, that's not the point of this. Well, as per tradition, we gotta get a dip. And we're gonna dip on, I just grabbed the closest can I could find, and I believe it is Copenhagen Wintergreen. There we go. Good choice. Thank you, Hillary, for this. Yeah, here we go. I've been playing so much harmonica lately. I really gotta get my dip time in when I can. So it's kind of funny. But okay, here's the matter at hand today. Now, as some of you know, I founded and administrate with a team of other people a Facebook group called Warehouse of Strangers Radio. And it's just how the progression of things is amazing. Because, okay, the Warehouse of Strangers, as I've said before, was a fanzine that like a punk rock Xerox fanzine that I published throughout the 80s. And then I moved to Peterborough, and I stopped doing it for ages. And then the internet came along, and I thought, well, fuck, no, I don't have to spend money on photocopying. I can probably make a cyber translation of the fanzine on a Facebook group. And so I started it mainly as a playlist to keep me from being bored at my crappy hotel job. And I looked at it kind of like that, like, okay, well, maybe, I'll call it Warehouse of Strangers Radio, and basically post a lot of music that we would talk about in the fanzine and stuff like that, right? And over the last 4 years, the group has grown to something like 2,200 members or something like that. And the only rule I have in the group is I have a zero tolerance for any bullshit. Any trolling, any shit talking on each other, anything like that. Anything, I won't put anything racist up in the group. I won't, it's just meant to be a nice, happy place to share music and art. And so that's mainly what it is every day. It's people sharing bands they like, people sharing their own music. It's really educational. A lot of people post educational things on bands or instruments or whatever. There's a lot of great artists in the group that post their artwork. It's really, I'm very proud of it, like on what it's become. And because I don't, I founded it and I administrate it, but I don't really do a whole lot other than I make note of people's birthdays and post music I like, and that's kind of what the group's for. And I knock out any dramatic issues. But, over the last 4 years, we've only had a handful of issues that needed to be dealt with, and one of them was like a Ray-Ban ad thing, it's amazing how the group is like, what, it's like anarchy in action, like it's like a self-contained community that works together as a community and lifts each other up. There's no getting down on people in my group. It's all about encouragement and positive things and good things. So I know a couple of my YouTuber people here are in the group. yeah, I'm very proud of it. And that evolved into my radio show that I do called Warehouse of Strangers Radio up at Trent Radio during the school season of Trent University. But the newest development is really fucking cool. One of the members of the group, Mike Fisher, put out a call. He was putting together a music festival in Pittsburgh, and he put out a call for people who, if they wanted to play. And pretty much every band that he got for the festival was bands or artists from the Warehouse of Strangers group. So he's calling the festival the Warehouse of Strangers weekend. And I'm fucking honored, man. Like, holy shit. You know, it's like we've talked for years, well, a couple years in the group, about having like a gathering, like having a group meetup somewhere, and a lot of our members are Canadian and live in Peterborough, and a lot of the members, due to Kurt Gainfort and a few other people, they're from the Pittsburgh area. So, a lot of people join the group thinking it's a Pittsburgh group. It's funny. So this festival is happening in Pittsburgh. On September 6th and 7th, and I guess the 8th too. EDT, that's like Eastern something time. I don't really know what that one is. I'll have to look it up. And it's at a place called Mr. Small's Funhouse. The Friday lineup is Skeletonized, and they're like a jazz punk rock fusion band. There's a band called Steven and the Damned, and they're what they call post-hardcore, which I haven't heard a lot of these music genres before, but I'm sure they're cool. And then there's Echo Lightwave Unspeakable, which is experimental circuit bend music. I've never heard of circuit bend music. I'm fascinated about it. And the Friday vendor is Shea Marshall Photography. On the Saturday, the lineup is Zero Mean, and they describe themselves as evil, moody, and heavy. There's a group called Fana, and the genre of music is called Crisis Urbana, which I've never heard of. And then there's a group called Bruiser Beep that does experimental performance art. And the vendors on the Saturday lineup will be Amanda's Arachnids, Morbid Locks, and Chaos Recreations. And the Sunday lineup is yet to be announced, but I guess there'll be a Sunday lineup too. And so I'm going to do my darndest to get sorted and get my passport done up and stuff so I can travel and find a way to get to the Warehouse of Strangers weekend music festival, because I'm absolutely honored that that's happening. You do some. It's funny how things happen. I remember the day I started publishing the fanzine, right? And I'll never forget it. Picking out the letters and picking out the title and cutting and pasting. It was all cut and paste and tape and glue and going to the Xerox machine and making copies, And I'll never forget those days. I'll never forget making that fanzine. And that's another project that's in the works as well. Is pretty soon I'm going to get a P.O. box, and I'm going to start doing the fanzine again with member submissions. So, but it's a lot to think about, and it's a lot to think about right now, which is a pretty crazy. I'm pretty deeply involved in a couple, in the dance show and in rehearsing with the band right now. But it's a lot to think about, but it's a lot of exciting stuff to think about. So yeah, I'm going to try to get down to Pittsburgh and go see the festival that was named after my Xerox little fanzine in the 80s, and meet some of my fellow strangers. That's the most exciting part, meeting up, that'll be really cool. So yeah, anyway, that's happening. I just really wanted to make note of that because I'm pretty stoked about that. It's been a real year of great feathers in the Dirty Pat Walsh hat of musical accomplishments, and that's certainly one of them. So if you Facebook at all, look up Warehouse of Strangers Radio. It's a completely drama-free zone where you share music and art, whatever you like, doesn't matter. And as long as it's not like gross, like, what do I mean by grossly offensive? Like, as long as you're not putting anybody down, basically, or in a mean way. It's you see what I mean if you join, So if you Facebook at all, it's a closed group, but you can easily join. You just answer a question or something like that. And so please join Warehouse of Strangers Radio on Facebook if you Facebook, and share the music that you love. As music is the great redeemer. All right, everybody. Happy Sunday. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you sometime soon. I'm grabbing these moments to do videos as well because time is tight. All right. Bye. Got eyes like rocket ships, and she always blows me away. She's got eyes like rocket ships, and she's always got lots to say. She tells me we're gonna go upstairs, nothing's gonna keep us down. She says we're gonna go upstairs, and we're gonna leave this town. Says